tonight I thought I would show you how I cook a pretty quick and easy, but still super delicious, simple Valentine's Day meal. Whether you are celebrating Valentine's Day, Palentine's Day where you celebrate friends, Malentine's Day where you celebrate your secret, most malicious thoughts. Whatever you're celebrating this month, you deserve a meat slab. Unless you're a vegetarian, in which case, let's make dinner. Alright, so we're going to be making a delicious steak, date night, or any other night dinner. This is something that's pretty simple, pretty easy to do, but super delicious. Before we started this video, I did a little bit of prep. I took my steak out of the refrigerator about half an hour before I was planning to cook it to let it come to room temperature a little bit, and I also patted it dry. I just used a paper towel. Just make sure you don't get any paper towel bits onto your steak. I also, with the help of my lovely assistant Dan, peeled and chopped some potatoes because I'm going to be making mashed potatoes. And I have a little salt ready to go because that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. The third thing I did prep-wise was take a shower, because if you're going on a date, you should take a shower. Even if you're not. When was the last time you showered? Maybe showered. So I have my potatoes here. I have cut them up pretty small because I want them to boil pretty quickly. If you leave them whole, they won't boil as evenly and they won't boil as quickly. And both of those things are bad. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my potatoes into this pot. And I'm just going to add like a pinch of salt. And I'm just going to bring these to a boil while I do my other various cooking activities. And turn it up on high. And then once those boil, I will take them down to a simmer and then simmer them for like 15 to 20 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to get my steak and my spinach ready to go. This dinner is really pretty easy, so there's not a lot of prep to do, but the little things I can do, I'm going to do now. Alright, so I have one clove of garlic. I have 1 clove of garlic for my steak, which I'm just going to give a smash. There we go. That's better. I'm going to cut this lemon open because I'll have to do that. 1 smashed garlic, and then these garlic I'm going to slice. There we go. And that's pretty much all the prep. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to make some mashed potatoes. We're going to use our cast iron skillet to make a delicious New York strip steak. And then we're going to make a little side of spinach. Oh, and I have my spinach pre-washed. If you're new to cooking spinach, 1, you have to wash it, or buy it super pre-washed. Even so, sometimes I give it a rinse, because one time I found a slug in some pre-washed spinach, but, you know, follow your heart. Sometimes I don't, because lazy. Spinach, if you don't buy it pre-washed, might be a little bit gritty. And the other thing you need to know is that this looks like a lot of spinach, but it's actually no spinach. It might be because the water evaporates, but my personal theory is that the gods take a sacrifice of a little piece of everyone's spinach. And that's why we don't do human sacrifice anymore. Anyway, just a thought. Alright, my potatoes are boiling, so I'm just going to cover them up and take them down low. Now, we recently bought this lemon juicer on Amazon.com. And it is a delight. But here's the thing. The same day that it arrived, we watched the movie Blade. And I gotta tell you, whenever we juice now, we think about, there's this scene in the movie Blade where he's being crushed and all the blood comes out, and it looks not that different from this lemon juicer.
Blade's a cool movie.
But Blade's a cool movie. While I'm doing my prep, I'm just going to preheat my cast iron skillet. Do I have other ones? Calentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, but instead of the normal way, it's a celebration of Val Kilmer.
Valentine's Day for Val Kilmer. This is probably more lemon juice than I needed. And now I'm going to salt and pepper my steaks on both sides. Salt and peppering both sides of the steak. Hey! Vegetable oil. Vegetable oil. So, oh, you are smoking, buddy. I'm gonna turn that down very slightly. Oil. Oil! Is that Texas tea? No? What's that from? All right, so I have my potatoes boiling away, and it is time to put my logs on the fire. All right, and I'm gonna give these suckers 3 minutes, and then flip them. Okay, and while that's searing and we're just waiting on everything, I'm gonna open a nice bottle of wine. Wine. Cheers. Okay, it's flip o'clock. Yeah. Seared. That's what I call Maillard browning. All right, and now that that's flipped, I'm gonna toss my garlic and a little bit of butter in. The secret to cooking a good steak is mostly leaving it alone. Just don't do anything, mostly. Give them a poke. Probably give them 1 more minute because these are pretty thick. I'm just going to sear the sides, and then I'll rest it for about 10 minutes. Searing the sides, rest in the meat. It's a song for the meat. And give it one last garlicky baste. You know, you want to keep that goodness going, so keep it going. Look at these beauties, huh? Huh? Now we're gonna rest them. And while those rest, we're gonna start our spinach. So I'm going to put some olive oil in a pan, and I'm gonna add my chili flakes and my garlic. The reason I do it in this order is that doing this lets the oil get spicy and garlicky, which is good, as everyone knows. Emily, you might be thinking, is it actually important that I rest my beef? Yes. Yes, it matters. You don't want to make a missed steak. The stakes are high. I'd stake my name. Rest the beef. All right, it's spinach time. Ooh. Now, like I said, at first, you're like, Emily, that's a crazy amount of spinach. But I'm telling you, it's not gonna be. Zeus will take his spinach piece. Look at that, where'd the spinach go? All right, spinach is cooking down, meat is resting. It's time to drain my potatoes. Ooh, that's hot. All right, now while I make my mashed potatoes, I'm gonna turn it on low. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of not butter. Now, if you were a person who had butter in your house and ate butter, use the butter, my God. But for me, this is what I have. Oh, and while my spinach cooks, I'm also gonna toss just a little bit of dried thyme on there. It's super simple to just, you know, you mash them up, you put some butter in there, or, well, you put some butter in there and then you mash them up. I should be specific. And then let's taste them, make sure they're okay. They're perfect. Spinach is ready for its lemon juice. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this, turn it down low. All right, so we have our spicy, garlicky, lemony, wilted spinach. Delicious, soft potatoes. And I'll turn that off, and I'll turn that off because we are ready to serve this thing. All right, now the last thing we have to do is check the steak and then plate everything up. So let's see how we did. We're just gonna cut down the middle and see if I did an okay job temping this. I'd say that's a pretty darn good medium rare. 3 to 4 minutes and 3 minutes, and then rest for 10 minutes. That is how you do a steak to like a medium rare. It kind of depends a little bit on the thickness of the steak and the kind of steak. If you have a really thin steak, you're gonna wanna do a lot less time than that. If you have a really thick steak, maybe a little more. That one was thicker, so it's on a little bit of the rarer side, but I like it that way, so I'm very happy. Those are my steak tips. All right, the last thing we have to do is plate. We gotta pull it all together. See what we got. Lemony. And I know Frank would be disappointed if I didn't hit it with an extra little helping of flaky salt. And there you have it, a perfectly delicious steak dinner made in under 45 minutes with not too many crazy ingredients, simple to do, delicious, a perfect date night dinner, and easy enough for a level 1. All right, let's see how everything is. That's a great steak. Dan, you want to come try?
Yeah. Got the biscuit.
Is it good? Easy. Delicious. I took a really big bite by accident. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about making an easy, simple, at-home steak dinner.
Happy Val Kilmer Day.
Happy Val Kilmer Day.
Johnny, what's that in your hand? It's a knife! No!
You guys watch the internet?